So, Ms. Sauw Kook, welcome to Slovenia. Thank you for joining us today with this conference. I would like to ask you a couple of questions. And if we start, what are the most significant challenges that the companies today, not only in Singapore but all around the world, face when trying to adopt and implement standards?
Yeah, so thank you very much for the question. Indeed, when we speak to companies, there are two main challenges that we often hear of. One is in terms of the leadership, the CEO, whether they are convinced, what are the kind of benefits that through adoption of the standards can help the company in terms of whether it's their innovation efforts, raising productivity, or even helping them to be able to export their goods and services. So the ability to convince them of the value of what these standards can bring is one very important consideration before they are prepared to see whether they will invest in the adoption of the standards. And secondly, is really about the resources that are available. Firstly, from the manpower resources, do they have the necessary skill sets and competencies to be able to translate what is in the standards into their operations. And then secondly is also about investing in additional resources, whether it's new tools, new equipment, or that can aid in the implementation of the standard. And thirdly, it could be even requiring external help. Some of them may not be able to afford in terms of getting in consultants to help them implement the standard. So I think briefly these are the two main reasons why companies have difficulty in terms of adopting standards.
Standards, okay. So these were the challenges of the companies. On the other hand, what about the standardization bodies? What are the challenges on our side to encourage them to join standardization? What can we do to encourage them even more?
So in response to your question, I think for national standards body, the challenge we face is being able to attract experts to want to participate in the development of the work. And therefore, we need to be able to also explain to them, why their involvement is important and what they can bring to the table, And many times when those experts who join us, what they value is the network, being able to discuss with the regulators, discuss with the academia and other industry partners, in terms of trying to solve industry pain points. So I think if we are able to do that in convincing them, they will step forward. I think the other challenge that we face is the young
generation.
Yeah, the younger generation in stepping forward. So therefore, we need to design programs that can also excite them, why standardization is important for the future generation, of society, of economic development, or that. So we organize activities that bring all of them together and co-create some of these programs where it's hot topics of the day, like for example, things to do with climate change, to do with sustainability, to do with AI or that, because these are topics that can resonate with them. So we can bring relevant, interesting topics to them and discuss, and then from there excite them and bring them forward to our standardization program. I think these are all needed as part and parcel of the national standards body, to ensure the pipeline that we have.
So with all these challenges ahead of us with the rapid technological development, and also the challenge of attracting new participants in standardization, not only experts, but joining of the new generation, as you mentioned, how do you see the evolving of standardization in the future? What's your opinion with which directions are we going into?
Well, I think technology is happening at a very fast pace, and standards need to keep in pace with that. So in terms of the national standardization bodies, we need to look at what are the different types of standards deliverables that can meet the market needs in a timely manner. So like for example, in Singapore, we have got three main types of deliverables. the workshop agreement, which is really targeted at new emerging areas where things are happening very fast, and it can be done within 6 months. Yeah, a good enough document for the industry. And then we have a technical reference, and this are done within 12 months, where the technology has been evolving for a little bit longer, and how we document some of these best practices into a technical reference. And for Singapore standards, it's over 24 months, but the technology is a little bit more mature. So what kind of deliverables that will suit to tackle the particular pain point at a point in time? These are things that we need to adapt. And the other part is also being cognizant that there are many other international standards body that are in the market, the industry consortium type, and also those that are established at the international level by government regulations, regulatory bodies, for example. So then how do we make sure that we keep pace and are plugged in, whether for ISO and IEC as well, very importantly, to be able to understand the conversation, what's going on, and what value we can bring to the table, so that we can complement each other in the efforts and avoid duplication, and see where we can find synergies, to cooperate and bring the best out of the standard solutions that are needed by our industry. In terms of attracting the experts, is really looking at how we can augment our standardization process using technology, whether it's the online standards development tool that is available like under ISO and IEC, or even looking at smart, how standards will be consumed in future by the user, whether it's from the human perspective or the machine perspective, So then how do we start preparing to move towards this direction? Because I think by leveraging on all these technologies and redoing the work that we do, it will attract new entrants into the system, and at the same time leveraging on technologies like generative AI, or say for example ChatGPT. While there may be risk, I think we can look at the positive side to understand where the benefits are and see how we can leverage on it and mitigate the risk that is involved. So I think, like for example, IEC, they are forming a small task force to look into this, to how can they leverage on it to improve on the standardization process. I think it's a step in the right direction, and we can all learn from what ISO, IEC is doing and head in the same direction.
Okay, so plenty of work, plenty of challenges. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed your stay in Slovenia, and hope to see you soon in Slovenia
thank you.
again.
Thank you very much for the invitation as well.